Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how to build a sign up page, which is very similar to building the login page that we've done in the last couple of videos. So let's jump in. So let's start by just making a duplicate of the login page. And so if we come over to files and into login, we just right click on that and then we'll select duplicate. And then we'll just call this sign up. Make sure that the path is sign up as well. Okay, and then let's duplicate it. And so we've got the exact same details as we had in our login page. So first and foremost, let's change the title. So let's just double click in this and we will just change that to sign up. We'll change the button label as well to sign up. So now what we need to do is to set up our API. So at the minute we've got our login that just came in with the copy, so we obviously need to add the API for sign up. So let's add an API. Let's drop down our endpoint and we're looking for this one here, auth sign up. Sign up and retrieve an authentication token. So that's the one that we want. Okay, so that's set up all there for us. Now if we go to the body, we can see that we don't just get asked for an email and password, we also get asked for a name. So if we go over to Xano and into this auth sign up endpoint, you can see that's exactly what it's picked up, that we need a name, an email and a password. So therefore we're going to need a name on our form as well. So what we'll do, we'll just copy what we've already got. So I've clicked on this div that contains both the label and the input box. So I'm just going to come right click and select copy, go to the container div and then just do Command V or Control V. Let's just close these up because I want our name, one new one, to be displayed at the top. So let's just drag that all the way to the top under there, so it's the highest one. Let's change the label over here to be name, and we need to change a couple of things on the input box. So let's change the placeholder to be name, and we've also got the type there that says email. So obviously we don't want it to be type email, we just want it to be standard text, because they're going to be able to type in virtually any text that they like. So let's change that to text. Now notice here, this is bound to the email variable. Now we don't want that, we need it to be bound to a specific variable for the name. So if we click off the canvas or we press escape, then we need to add a new variable in here for name. So we'll click plus to add one, we'll give it the name of name. And again we'll just blank out the initial value to give us an empty string. And now what we can do in our name input box is change that to bind to the name variable. So that's a lot of our work done for us. Now obviously what we now need to do is in our sign up API we now need to use that name to send to Xano. So let's click on that, over to body. Let's go into our formula and now we just need to assign these values here. So let's do name, let's do email, and let's do password. Okay, and so now we should be ready to just run this sign up API. Now we're going to get an error because we haven't filled any details, but at least it gives us a starting point. So let's just click to play or to test. Okay, we get a response of 400, which is exactly what we would have expected, but we're ready to go now with that API call. So what we need to do now is to get the button, the click event on the button, to call the sign up API rather than the login API. So let's do that, and we can get to that workflow just by clicking on the lightning symbol against the button. Okay, and now we'll just call the auth sign up API, and we'll get rid of the login API call. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go. We've now very simply converted our form to the sign up. One thing that we haven't done here is that we need to change these show hide to work with the sign up API rather than the login. So let's click here. In this case, we'll go to the auth sign up. We need the response, we need the status. That's fine, we can leave that as it is. And the same with this, we just need to change it to the sign up, response, status. And what we need to do maybe is to change these labels, so you have signed up successfully and you, let's just change this one. Can't spell. So our sign up form is pretty much done now, and we can test that. So let's just run it, and let's say that we say Tom Smith, and let's say Tom Smith 100 at test.com. Let's use the same password, Tom Smith 100. Okay, and now let's click sign up. You've signed up successfully. So let's go into Xano and make sure that that has actually happened. So database, into user, and there's our new user that we've just added in there. So let's go into our editor. Now obviously we need to get rid of this API because we no longer need it. In fact, there's a little error there that says it's never used in any formula or workflow, so we can just now highlight it and just backspace to delete it. So we're just left with our sign up API, and so we've effectively got our sign up page where we can sign users up. Now in the next video we'll be going into expanding on this and also changing our API in the back end. So thanks for watching. As I mentioned previously, there's a link to a waitlist in the description for my upcoming courses where we go more in depth, more into intermediate and advanced subjects. So if you're interested, by all means sign up to that waitlist. Thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next one.